Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jason with JWClassicVW, and it's Saturday, and I haven't been on camera in a little bit of a while, guys, but I am back. I'm about to go grab some coffee. Yeah, that's right. About to grab it. Haven't had it yet. Just super energetic this morning because I missed you guys, and I missed hanging out with Goose. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go hang out with Goose, answer some questions you guys have been emailing me, and IMing me, and Instagramming me and Facebooking me. So that's what we're doing today, guys. We're going to go for a cruise, spend some time with Goose, and answer some questions. Don't you just love it when you're looking for your keys? Where are my keys? Buster! Buster, where are the keys? Oh, there they are. You gotta get the keys, man. And this is my cool little keychain that my kiddo got me. Love it. Got it for Father's Day. Awesome. And it has lights. Looks like it might have rained out some. Better not be raining right now. Dang it. Morning, Goose. Whew, it's early. Let's get around and get this baby started. I always lock up my girl, man. I have all kinds of different security measures. Better safe than sorry, right? Let's go ahead and ignite Goose. Let's wake her up, man. See how she's feeling this morning. No gas. You guys see that? The tach comes on. Super cool, man. Get her warmed up. It takes like about a good 10-15 minutes for the engine temp to come up. You guys ask about my fuel gauge, and like it might be a grounding issue. I might have to take a look at that because it's kind of sporadic. You know, right now it's probably about half a tank, and I've been checking it, like double checking it to make sure. But and I also carry a spare fuel with me. Where is it? It's over there somewhere. Hold on, let's put the window down. It is down. There it is. Gotta toss that in the trunk area, just in case. And hey guys. My sunglasses on. I got some of that ethanol-free gas from Buc-ee's, and it's amazing. It smells better, runs better, everything is better. So like ethanol gas, for all of us that have been using it for a while, let me tell you, it sucks. I'll be making trips over to Buc-ee's from now on to get the ethanol-free gas because that stuff's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, let's get back to cruising. We're gonna do some breakfast. We're gonna go do some Dunkin' Donuts this morning. That's right. Dunkin' Donuts, baby. Gray clouds. My windshield wipers work, so if we get stuck in some crap, you guys get to getting stuck in some crap with me. I got some questions for you guys out there. What do you think about the idea of turbocharging Goose? I thought about it a few times, but I've also thought about just keeping an NA, you know, naturally aspirated, and then just getting some bigger heads and then also some 48s to really step it up. So, what do you think? Comment below, guys. Comment below. What do you think? Turbocharged or just big ass naturally aspirated? It drives pretty good right now. Definitely faster than your standard stock Beetle. Cruising quickly. So Dunkin' Donuts, baby. We'll get some donuts and then get the heck home. Yes, can I get a small coffee with cream and sugar? Yes, and can I also get a couple of chocolate glazed donuts? Two, yeah.
Chocolate glazed donuts?
You got it. That's all. Thank you. You guys have a good day. Got the Dunkin'. Got the Dunkin'. Bad accident somewhere. Saw the fire department go by right before them, so that's not good. I feel the cool air coming in. I have a distinct feeling that we're definitely going to have some rain coming soon. Soon for sure. Soon for sure. 30% chance of rain. Uh-oh, I see raindrops getting on the oval window in the back. Dang it. We got rain. I don't think I've ever been on camera with rain. A little bit. That ethanol-free gas is where it's at. Woo! It's raining. It's raining. Yeah, it's got one speed on. There's no variable speed in a 56, baby. That's for sure. So I got something to show you guys that I picked up for Goose, and kind of debated on whether or not letting you guys know or telling you about it. But hello, darling. Those jeans are on tight. keeping an eye out, boys. Gotta watch out for the crazies. All right, guys, we're back. Whew, it's warm. It's warm. Grab my other camera. Be right back, guys. So, hey, guys, let's take you away from the video for 1 second to talk to you about, hey, have you got a sticker yet? Here at JWClassicVW, we make a little money from advertising from YouTube. And part of what I do with those proceeds is get stuff like stickers for you guys. So if you would like a sticker, join the Facebook group, description down below, guys, and I will send you one. All you gotta do is IM me with your address, and free of charge. You don't have to pay for postage, you don't have to pay for nothing. I will send one to you guys. So, good stuff. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe, guys, this content if you're enjoying it. And now, back to the video. So you guys already knew, even before I get my donuts and drink some of this coffee, we gotta get we gotta get the water off of Goose, man. Donut time. These are delicious. Fat pills. Okay. All right, guys, so I want to take a second and kind of show you a new product that I got for Goose. And as always, guys, I'm an Amazon affiliate, so if you do click on this thing and you're interested in buying one, I get a small fraction, like, I don't know what it is yet, but it's a pretty small fraction of percentage towards your purchase. Comes back to me, so that it can help out the channel, like with video equipment and sending out stickers, stuff like that. So what is this thing? What is this thing? Have you guys ever seen anything like this before? You know what this is? Well, this is a case. What's inside of it is really what is important for me anyway, and should be for you guys too. And this is a tracker. It's a little GPS tracker. And this is a little Pelican case that you can pick up too separately. And if you're like me, you kind of have a certain level of paranoia when it comes to your vehicle. Now, you can hide this anywhere you want to on your car. It could be any classic car or anything you want to track your kids or anything like that. You can stick this sucker on there, and the battery life so far has lasted about a week. You can also get an external power source to hook up to it through your car battery, and it'll run forever as long as your car battery is hooked up. If it gets disconnected, of course, it'll have its own internal battery still that keeps it going. And this was kind of important to me because there's been a lot of thefts recently when it comes to, well, recently, probably all the time, when it comes to classic cars. And thefts at car shows and like from your own garage or from your house. And if you can pick up one of these little units here, this is was like 30 bucks, and then you pay like 25 bucks a month for the subscription so that they can monitor it. It's insurance, guys. Not only do you carry insurance on your cars, like I carry insurance on Goose, and she's been appraised, and I carry that insurance on her, which is important, guys. It's important to have an agreed upon value for your car too, especially when you have a car like, that you love. So if you're interested in checking this out, it also has an app for your phone for tracking, and you can set boundaries, which is pretty cool. Like you can have a boundary, like if your car goes outside of a certain boundary, you'll get notifications. So check out the description below. I'll link it down there, and you guys check it out. But I'm not gonna tell you where I hide this one on Goose. All right, guys, I'm back, and it's I had my donuts, had my coffee. Goose is all cleaned up, and I wanted to go ahead and take the time to go over some questions that you guys have shot over my way. There's always a ton of questions that you send me email or Facebook or IM me on Instagram, and I wanted to cover a few of those questions with you guys today, and yeah, that's it. So let's go right to the questions and talk about them. First one comes from Eros Roy, and he had a thump when he's shifting. And hey guys, if you got suggestions on any of these questions or possible solutions, hit up in the comments below too, and maybe Eros will check out the comments, and you know, not just what I've suggested as the possible solutions, but maybe you guys can help out as well. Oh yeah, by the way, sorry about the fan noise. It's like 100 freaking degrees outside, so got the fan going, and I had to shut the garage door down a little bit for the light to be right. So here we go. The possible issues that I kind of feel would be like if you're getting a thunk whenever you're shifting is possibly the first thing that I would check. And what we always start off with the easiest things, right, guys, is your actual shifter. You might want to take your shifter apart and take a look inside of it and see if maybe the little ball inside of there is worn out. There's usually like a bushing on there, a little plastic bushing that can crack or wear out. You might want to take a look at that. Also the spring, or maybe it's just sloppy because it's the welds come loose or something in there. So take off your shifter, take a look at it, and just kind of inspect it for damage. The next thing you want to check out, the next easiest thing to check out, is your shift coupler back towards the back of your seat, underneath your back seat. You open up that inspection plate back there, and there's a little coupler that sometimes that can wear out. So those are the two easiest things to check. The next thing I would probably take a look at is my adjustment on my clutch. Now, the deflection in your clutch pedal is only supposed to be like ½ an inch, or maybe a little bit less than that. But the deflection is not very much, but you want to have a little bit in there. So check out the adjustment on your clutch cable. And the last thing, which is probably the hardest thing to take a look at because you have to pull your engine, is your throwout bearing. Now, whenever you're shifting, if your throwout bearing is worn out, you're gonna get some sounds and some issues. Plus, the clutch could be gone too. There's usually springs inside of your clutch if your clutch disc isn't a solid type of clutch. And if those springs go bad, you can also get some vibrations and some clunking sounds whenever you shift. So, hope that helps you out, buddy. I know that my response in the email was a little bit more direct and thought that it could possibly be the throwout bearing, which it can be, but there's also other things that you want to take a look at, okay? The next question comes from John. And actually, this question's come from quite a few people wondering, how the heck did you get a sway bar? Excuse me, guys. I know I'm sweating. How the heck did you get a sway bar? And do you really need a sway bar on your 4-inch narrowed beam? And like, well, first off, my beam is probably closer to like 3.5-inch narrowed off of what I did, but pretty close to 4-inch narrowed. I used my sway bar from my 2-inch narrowed beam, and the way that I got that to work is I cut about an inch off of each end, and then used straps and some heat. Well, first thing I did is I put it in my vise and heated up the actual bend point and bent it just a little bit at each end to be able to get it to turn and make it around to the front suspension there where it hooks up with the polyurethane bushings. So the next part where I use the straps to kind of ratchet it in there tight is probably a little dangerous. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. If you go ahead and do it anyway, go for it. I didn't do a video on it because it was a little hairy, and I really don't want you guys hurting yourselves out there. So, but that's how I did it. So I cut the ends off, about an inch off each end, and then I bent it in a little bit, put it in my vise with some heat, and man, I had to get that thing super hot. And then some ratchet straps to kind of like suck it in the rest of the way. So that's how I got that on there. And do you need it? Do you need a sway bar? A lot of people are going to tell you that you don't necessarily need a sway bar when you have a dropped, narrowed beam. But I'm going to tell you what, I can tell the difference whenever I'm taking turns pretty hard, because the whole point of a sway bar is to lift one wheel up off the ground a little bit, or bring the suspension up a little bit on one side as you're taking the turn, because you honestly don't want both wheels down on the ground because they're going to cause you problems when it comes to taking a hard turn or a hard bank. And it's almost like you're riding on one wheel as you're going through that. So yeah, I like my sway bar. I think it makes a difference. There are some, I want to try to get some stronger clamps that go around it, kind of hold it better in place, but that's probably why you don't see too many 4-inch narrowed sway bars, because maybe people aren't driving like crazy people like I am. But yeah, there you go, man. And you also asked me about my gear ratios on my my transmission. John, it's a Pro Street transmission from Rancho, and it's a 412 gear ratio. I had a video, and I'm gonna link it up here, where I actually talked about the first through fourth gear ratios, but it's just a standard, man. It's not like a freeway flyer. It's actually, I think it's geared a little bit lower on the fourth gear, and my fourth gear is a little bit lower, but I can still get up to like 90 miles. I can still get up pretty fast when in fourth gear at about 4,000 RPM, so it does fine. The Pro Street transmission from Rancho is the bomb. It's supposed to be able to handle upwards around 200 horsepower, which I know I'm nowhere near that. So the next question I have is from John Williams, and John asks about exhaust wrap and why am I wrapping my exhaust, or where did I get that exhaust wrap from? And it looks pretty cool, and for the most part, a lot of guys aren't going to necessarily need exhaust wrap and or want exhaust wrap on your J tubes and or your merged header system, but I have it on there because I know that I'm putting a lot more fuel and air into my engine based off of the size. It's a 2276, and I know that I'm dumping a lot in there. And the whole point of the exhaust wrap is to help heat the exhaust gases as they're coming out of the exhaust ports on your heads. And what that heating up of the exhaust gases does is helps them move faster and flow faster out of the exhaust. So where do you get it from? Well, I'll link it down in the description below, buddy. And this is kind of how it comes. It comes like this. Let's see if you can see it pretty good. And it also has like some of the bands, the steel bands, they're stainless steel bands, and then gloves. And why does it have gloves? Because this stuff is itchy. I think it has asbestos in it to help keep the heat trapped in there. And you are going to itch like crazy if you don't wear gloves, because I didn't wear gloves the first time when I did it. Why did I get some more of it? Because I need some more of it to help cover up the front exhaust ports on my merged header system. I haven't finished completely. Plus, my rear muffler there, my exhaust, you can see where it's kind of, if you guys have noticed it, it's kind of cut a little bit. I'm gonna go underneath the rear end of the car here in a little bit and kind of show you guys this stuff. It's kind of like torn up a little bit because I've dragged the dragged the rear end at a couple places, and it's just kind of cut it up. So, do you need the exhaust wrap for a smaller engine, more of a stock engine? I would say probably not. It's probably going to cause more harm than good. Another thing that you want to know is, like, for Goose, she's never out in the weather very much, and there's not a lot of moisture that gathers up on the undercarriage of the car. So what you want to watch out for is moisture getting trapped between the exhaust wrap and your paint job, because you're gonna get corrosion and you're gonna have other problems that start to happen. Now, if you're like me, and if you notice that you're gonna tear it apart and just repaint it, then cool, then don't worry about it. But if you're somebody that likes to like do something and then like not think about it and forget about it, then you might not want to use the exhaust wrap. Once again, it's beneficial, I would say, more for larger engines where you're dumping a lot of fuel and a lot more air down into the heads to help move those gases out. But for smaller engines, I would say you probably don't need it. So, all right. Once again, if you're interested, check out the description below, and I'll link it down there for you guys. And the last question I had was from Bill, and Bill asked about the fuel lines. Yes, the fuel lines. I've gone back and forth many times internally in my brain on whether or not I wanted to move forward with installing the fuel lines through the tunnel. And I think that I've decided not to. I think what I'm going to end up doing is building a system of holds that are like made out of stainless steel or aluminum, some of the stronger aluminum, and I'm going to make a couple holds that'll hold two fuel lines on the bottom side of the actual chassis. Now, I'm gonna probably have to tap some holes on the bottom side here and there, but I like the idea of my fuel lines being outside of the car versus running down the inside of the car. And I know that a lot of you guys are probably, well, what's the big deal? Why would you rather do that? Well, preference, guys. We all have preferences, and I think installing the lines underneath there kind of, for one, it's easier. And I think it makes it easier for guys out there that may want to do this as well. So the two fuel lines are going to come up out of the front of the Napoleon's hat off to the side and kind of come up into brackets that I'm going to make that'll have the bulkhead fittings right there. Okay, same thing at the back. They're going to come out in a place that makes sense, where they'll go into brackets that I'm going to install that'll hold the bulkhead fittings to the rear end, and then I'll finish off the install with a -6 A&N fittings all the way to the back and all the way to the front as well. This is all in preparation for a possible fuel injection system where you have a return line, a constant feed line. Now, you don't have to necessarily use a feed and a return just for fuel injection. You can use that for a naturally aspirated bigger engine where you have a constant feed pressure always going through your fuel system. This helps out a lot when it comes to higher demands and possible turbo applications. Now, I'm probably going to go ahead and turbo my engine at some point, naturally aspirate it first before fuel injected, because it's more cost effective. and then I can do fuel injection later on if I want to, but this will give you guys the ability to see what it's like to turbocharge an engine that is naturally aspirated, and say you still want to use your IDF carburetors or your ID8 carburetor to make that happen. So these are just ideas, guys, going through my head. As I told you before, I'm kind of curious what you guys think about turbo applications. Hit up the comments below. I really want to know what you guys think. But keeping it naturally aspirated too, with just big heads, moving a lot of air with 48 IDAs, probably give me more than enough horsepower to be happy. So what else we got on the board here, guys? Well, I want to shout out to a lot of guys out there that hit me up, guys and gals, that hit me up on the Facebook groups and in the Instagram, and just emailed me personally to say that they hoped I was doing okay, because I was sick. I've been out for a little while, and yeah, man. Eduardo, John, Frank, Rich, Paul, Charlie, Jerry. These are just a few of you guys that I really do appreciate it, guys. It means a lot to me to know that you guys are out there and you were praying for me and hoping that I got better, because this whole sickness that's going on right now is pretty serious, and I think a lot of people are maybe not taking it as seriously as they should. So wear a mask, man, if you got a mask. It might be your life that you end up saving. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and move to the car. I'm going to go ahead and get Goose jacked up, and we'll go ahead and take a look underneath at some of the other things that you guys had questions about. Not just these questions that you asked that we kind of just went over, but also you guys wanted to see the final install of the remote oil cooler and how it all looks underneath. So we're going to show you that, and I'm also going to show you the setting unit for the oil temperature gauge, because I've had some questions about that as well. So guys, moving over to the car, and see you in a second. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you guys back here at the engine compartment is where the lines come in. And right here, this line that's been heat shrinked is the line that carries the feed line for both my tech and also the temperature gauge. Okay, so it comes up into here, and I'll just pull it off for a second. It comes up into here, and then the line for the sending unit, the temperature sending unit, this slips back around through and goes down through the tin to go down to the sending unit, and then the line here goes to the negative side of the coil for the tech. Now, if you guys saw that video and watched the video on the install of the gauge cluster, which if you haven't, you can check it out right here, you'll know that, what's this white dusty stuff here? You'll know that I ran the lines up through the top of the channels inside the top of the I guess the hood area. There's two channels that go down both sides both sides of the car on either side for the wiring harness, and I went down the side where the line is for your dome light, and it worked out pretty good. And I was able to use a piece of snake to get down through there, and it went pretty easy. So this goes down through. I got a little grommet here for where it penetrates the tin, and then comes up underneath. And what we're gonna do now is just jack up the car so that you guys can go ahead and take a look underneath and see that. All right, guys, we are up underneath Goose, and what we see first is the exhaust wrap. And let's come up underneath here so you can see the oil sending unit for the temperature. She is right there on the front relief valve. Let's see if I zoom in for you guys a little bit. So there you go. This is where the sending unit is for the temperature gauge on the front relief valve, and from the research I did, this is probably the best place to put it for the most accurate temperature reading to a oil temperature gauge. Now, how accurate is it? I don't know. I'm hoping it's pretty accurate. It's a VDO gauge, guys. Or VDO sending unit, sorry. Cool. So that's the CAFR bar system. If you didn't know about that, I installed that a while ago. There's a video on it as well. Check out the link up in the right hand corner over here. Up over here, if you want to check out that video, guys. As you can see with my exhaust wrap, I have it at the exhaust port on this J2, but I don't have it up over here on this side. I need to add it over on this side. Yeah. And there's my remote oil cooler. Back there. See if I can move over a little bit and get you guys a better view of what's going on over there. So here's my oil cooler. And the best thing about it is that it doesn't leak. You can see that the lines run from the oil pump and run through the filter. Then move all the way back to the back side here. Here is where I tapped the this 90 degree that's right here for the temperature switch that switches on the fan that's on top of the oil cooler. It mounts to the rear torsion tube, and I moved to the back side so you guys can see how those hose clamps fit on there. And then it also, from the top side, so I can get up here, and you guys can see this at all, I don't know. From the top side, back at the back side here, we see where that strut mounts down in there. It's also affixed and held in place with that strut. There's a tab that goes up underneath the strut and holds it in place there, so it's also held there. So yeah, there's the oil cooler, guys. Let's move to the back side so you can see those hose clamps. All right, and here's the back side of the oil cooler. We can see that it is held in place with these. They're not like normal hose clamps. These are like the kinds that you would see like on turbo fittings or something. They're pretty strong. So yeah, the oil cooler's not going anywhere, man. Overall, man, I'm super happy with it. It's working out great. I have no complaints. And I definitely like it better than underneath the rear of the fender because I just preference, you know. I don't know. It just seems like it's more out of the way, tucked up underneath here. And I did show you guys before when I was making this that you can buy these pre-made through G2 on Facebook. So just look up G2 fabrication on Facebook if you guys are interested in maybe just buying one already ready to go. And it's all -8 A&N fittings and lines, half-inch lines that I used for it. So yeah, and this Mandola trans mount is working out great too. The thing is awesome, and that's from Cool Ride Customs. They have that along with that capper bar system. So yeah, let's get her back up in the air and then pull these jack stands out and get her back on the ground, man. Whew, it's a little hot outside. Hope you guys enjoyed that cruise and a little bit of Q&A that we went over today. The not a whole lot of actual like working on Goose going on, but I had a lot of questions and I wanted to answer them. And it had been a while since I've been on, been a while since I put out a video. So once again, I appreciate everybody out there for sending the well wishes. It's nice having support of the VW community, and that's always how it seems to be, guys. When somebody's down and needs some help in the VW community, we're always there to help each other out. Don't forget to put some comments down below if you have any questions about anything that we kind of went over today. The description will also have any products that we talked about today as well. The GPS tracking, which is great for anybody that wants to have that added sense of added security, not sense of security, that added security when it comes to your classic car or trailer or whatever you want to stick that thing on. Also, we went over a few other things, so don't forget to check that out below. And as always, guys, I am an Amazon affiliate, and anything that you click on down below that's to Amazon is to my affiliate account. So that helps out the channel, helps out with gear. I just picked up a new gimbal, so that should be kind of cool. Messing around with a gimbal with my phone and new video content with that. Also with audio equipment like the lav mic that you see here, and stickers and whatever else I can send out to you guys. I don't make a lot of money off of YouTube, and I like to put it back into the channel for you guys. Once again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this content if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Jason and Goose with JW Classic VW, and I'm out.